What's up, internet? It's me, just doing some vlogging. Went to Walmart in my scooter. It was funny, I forgot my lock, and I turned around, and this old guy was like, saw me, but he was really friendly. Kind of just like, oh, I forgot something. Yeah, way cheaper. I was gonna do a delivery from Fry's, and that was like $55. Uh, and I went to Walmart and I got a lot of like things like olive oil and stuff like that. Yeah, it came down to 3373. And I was telling her about holographic money. Yeah, I was like, I invented holographic money's got a basic income for all, and it caps government pay at 666, and it puts what the government does on the money. And so each individual government person, if you're really like serving people, it's going to be hero money. It's going to be a rare, awesome collectible. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. They have these titanic potatoes. I have never felt the two things that made me feel really good was honestly, the reason I was so self-medicating was probably worms. I know that sounds gross, but there were like lumps under my skin that went away and shit like that. And the way I did it was canine dewormer, because I look up like dewormer for humans, they don't have it, and if you ask for it, they won't give it to you. I noticed that, hey, I want to get dewormed. He's gonna look at you like you're stupid, and the reason why is they hate each other. They will not actually sell you dewormer because they don't care if you suffer, and that's sort of like horrible fight with each other's egos. Like the Bible, as like much of a solution it pretends to be, it's just a group of people taking everyone out on that level. Yeah. So yeah, but anyway, I've been taking this canine dewormer. I feel so good. I feel way better than I've ever felt. Way better than I've felt in years. Now, unfortunately, it just does the intestines. I would love like, but anyway, a few people would mention that like I saw people online who go like, someone was really sick with like neurotoxoplasmosis or whatever, and they got cured by taking, it's called like benzaprine or something. You'd be able to look it up. And I take it and I don't have any problems. And I also like feel amazing. But the other thing I did beyond that is see, I kind of like, here's the thing, since I don't like pump this out to everyone, I'm not forcing the whole world to watch this. So the reason why I talked about that is I thought it could really help you. And if you're watching this, I want you to be rewarded with some real intel. Like, try that. Yeah. You want to feel better? Try that. But yeah, the basic income's nice because right now, like, you have a decimal. So you have this, like, these two zeros that are made up with metal coins, which is just like this. It's horrible. See, to the rich, everyone worked and made all this stuff is your job, like a cow getting slaughtered, right? And I'm not with that. I'm like, you wasted your whole life because the system's inefficient. That's how I see it. So, yeah, you all got cell phones anyway. You got AI popping around the corner. I'm totally fine if the AI watches everything, but the AI should be a two-way street. It shouldn't be like, I know it all and I'll give you a digested version that's like manipulative. It's got to be like, this is really honest. You know, it'll share anything with anyone. So I'm down with that. I totally am. And it's not to like get people in trouble. It's just like, it should be an open two-way street. I'm looking for this. Oh, I know someone who does that. You know, something like that. Or I've got this issue. It may not tell everyone. It might be like, I keep that to myself because I know it'd be offensive for you. That'd be nice. Be a great AI. Um, it'd be great when the AI is so good it gives great advice. It's not like a canned mashup of the best advice synthesized. It really thought of its own thing. Try this. Yeah. So that's where we're going. That's where I want to go. Yeah. But yeah, went to saved like $20 and got way more for it. Driving myself in my scooter. I love my scooter so much. Um, yeah, I'm planning on like my van move out. I'm either gonna buy a house when I leave here in a year, or I'm gonna get a scooter. And not a scooter, a better van. I lived in two SUVs, and that's tough. I've never lived in a van, so this will actually be the biggest upgrade I've had. And I'm really good about like avoiding the law, not in a negative way, because I know the law from my secret with the creator. Like, since I had a meeting with the creator, and he, like, the way the law is that you don't owe anyone obedience to words. Yeah, you hurt them, they're going to want to hurt you back. That makes total sense. But if you don't do that, and if you actually look out for them, they're going to have more of like, I can throw it out. I can ignore it this time, that sort of attitude. And I lived off that. I lived off that so much. I, like, parking in LA. I parked on the beaches of LA in a car, missing all these pieces. Like, anyone else would have been arrested immediately, but me, I did it for months, and they protected me. You know why they protected me? Because I was jamming on an instrument in a way they'd never heard. Everyone was like, "Wow." Jaden came out and played. Jaden Smith, yeah, he's awesome. He plays a violin, and he did this like freestyle. Everyone could hear it. You know how there's like the pier in LA. There's like the, what do you call it, the marigold. You could hear him freestyling all the way at the end of that, and he was back on like the shore. Everyone was quiet listening to it. It was awesome. So yeah, I've said before I hate California, and it was unfortunate. I don't hate California. I think it's awesome. I definitely think, parasites can make people ruder or meaner or more sharky than normal because not only are they in pain, they're lacking internally. So yeah, I definitely think like parasite removal is a wise idea, but while the AI is already going to be watching everything, you may as well do basic income. So, like, the current way the money's printed is they print trillions for war, which I'm against, and the people who have to work and do the war get nothing, and that's how they make them do it. And the whole thing is they just don't explain that's what happened, but I noticed. I'm like, okay, that sucks. So yeah, I want to give everyone basic income. So starting when you're a baby, the AI is going to watch you, and it should have like really like your early basic, like your early baby money should be cute, should be sincere. I'm tired of this. Oh, I got circumcised. Here's me crying and in a medical thing. Nah, it should be like, here's me laughing and bundled up with my mom, or whatever. Here's me and my family. It should be like sensitive and kind. It's not shame money, although I'm fine with it, like doing that every once in a while. Uh, yeah. And then the outvent's a spot auction. So when you get enough that you're like, I want some land for me, to make it fair to all the natives and make it fair to everyone, you put a billboard on the spot. You tell the whole world that billboard's open, and the minimum it has to be up is 1 year, right? So the whole world knows that spot's going, and there's a limit per person. You can have one in each category. If you want to get another 1 year spot auction, you have to give up your current spot auction you won. And the thing is you're supposed to build on the spot. And the reason I left one for each category is really you're going to treat a 10-year spot auction different than a 1 year spot auction. And a 10-year spot auction is going to be tough to win. Most people don't need to win it for their whole lives. You just need to win a 1 year spot auction. So let's say you go, I want to get off basic income and I want to work. You don't lose the basic income. What you do is you work per action. And then yeah, it's a great overhaul of the world. It simplifies like AI monitoring. I think the privacy policy was to hide what the rich really have, which is like private harems and stuff. And they wouldn't tell you that, but that's really what it was. And it makes me sad because you're talking about the R wording of baby boys, and you're talking about little girls being taken from their families to get like sex slave training. Like, I'm serving the creator of the universe and all that stuff. Yeah, right. See, the trick with the religions is if they were true, they'd pop out of thin air. If the religions were real, they'd pop out of thin air, but they're not real and they don't. So the major reasons you have the religions, all the promises in the front are lies to get the back door, which is what they want, like obedience to words, circumcise your kids. You're not free if you gotta cut pieces off your kids' genitals. I get it that it's like you don't want women to have their whole lives robbed by somebody who raped them. I'm totally on board with that. That's why I'm fine with like the AI watching. So, but like these two people like each other and they want to hook up. I don't care if they're both 14. That's a good age to start. And with holographic money, they'd be taken care of. So, yeah. Definitely people being afraid of their population size, I think, is a problem. I think they should just let it go and, like, instead of complaining about how many people there are, try to get people into the AI spaceship core. So the AI spaceship core is the idea that you're going to use the supreme being to inspire tech. You don't want to go, I'm going to learn everything, and then after I know everything, have an idea. Nah, ask the supreme being to give you a clue. Ask the supreme being to drop ideas in your head when you're sleeping. Hey, put these two materials together in this shape. Try that. And what you're looking for is energy from nowhere and objects from nowhere, which has to do with like synthesizing and transforming either energy itself, which would be awesome. We took pure energy and made it into an object. Got it, right? And so something that's cool about working with the supreme being is that the way the Lord is, or the way not the Lord is a human invention. To me, the Creator doesn't, it knows what you mean by the G word, but it didn't make it up for itself. Uh, Humans who wanted you to obey made it up. God and gold and girls. So, yeah, the secret is they like girls. That's like the thing that they leave off, is they want to have all the female attention. They want all the pretty girls to be theirs first and pure. And that's where all the lying and the stink comes from. The reason Israel has infinite money is because they just like, they support the circumcision of babies. Yeah. Circumcision's in the Bhagavad Gita. Islam circumcises. And I did all this circumcision research before I started my assault on them. And allegedly there's different information now, but here's the thing. If you would lie and say God said to do it, you would definitely lie and say, there's no proof it's wrong. There's proof it's helpful. You would lie about everything else. Why? It's real effects. So, yeah. Can you trust them? No. I really think what's in private property is suspicious. So I'm hoping the surfacers, like, here's my assessment. The people who benefit from the mass enslavement of all are useless. They're just greedy. They don't actually know that much. Allegedly, they're not even literate. So if the people who are tech savvy enough to make an AI computer, get it together to use it to look for them, you could have a winning move. You could figure out where they are and get an invasion. I just want to pull them apart. Like, I'm totally fine with all these people love me. They want to hang out with me. I don't care if you have a room full of women. I really don't. You opened your door and they said, I don't want to go anywhere else. You're my guy, whatever. You know what I mean? But the way it sounds is that these are cattle. They're not like, they don't have a choice. And they don't even know they could make a choice. I was inspired by Harriet Tubman. She goes, I would have freed more people had I convinced them they're slaves. And that's so fascinating, that more people would have gotten free, would have walked off the farm and stopped working every day for nothing if they had been convinced they didn't deserve to be there. So I always think about that. Thanks, Harriet Tubman. I definitely think that the pyramids are suspicious, but I don't think like our black people are responsible for slavery. I think that maybe they had some copycats in like LA. Like, I never wear gold or diamonds. When I was on the road, I had someone give me a handful of gold, and I threw it. That would have been great money, but I didn't want it because I just like, what would it be like? To me, that's the tainted stuff. I know there's gold in my phones and stuff. I'm fine with, respectable use of metals, but what it sounds like is it's like the mining empire basically hedged. It's like surface versus the underworld. And I'm not the only one who's thought that in history, that what's underground in private property you can't check and is suspicious. It's like, so yeah, whoever sees through the planet first has to let us know where secret like colonies are and stuff like that. And yeah, the fact that carbon is so strong, like, the thing is that all you have to do is go smaller with how you fucking structure things, and then you're gonna get way, way, way stronger than anything nature had. So basically what I was getting into with the Supreme Being is that the way total source can be is not really reflected in material nature. Material nature is like an event that has occurred in everything it can do, but it's by no way the ground or the total potential. Like, look at metallic glass. Metallic glass is insane what it can do. Talk about a substance that can return bounce force infinitely. Like, a normal object bounces, 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 right? Metallic glass bounces constantly. It doesn't lose any energy because it's perfect. Stuff like that, especially if you can pull metallic glass from the air or from energy itself, now you have an AI spaceship core. Now you have something that can grow itself into a craft. I definitely don't think work is cool. I don't think like all this labor to do stuff is a good use of your time. I feel like you should be able to leisurely just travel the cosmos and look around and interact with species you enjoy. Definitely the negatives create potential for positives. Yeah, problems are definitely great places where nice things can occur. But anyway, yeah, I went to Walmart today and did some shopping, and I'm cooking these giant potatoes. They are so huge. And it was the cheapest, and again, it came out to $33.73. And I was talking to her about holographic money. Yeah, holographic money's got a basic income. So, caps the government at 666. You know what the government gets is it gets their lie, like what they do is on the cash. So if you're, it's meant to, see, here's the thing I saw with government and work. Work's filled with people who have to be there. They have no choice. And then they have to compete. These businesses have to compete with each other, and then it doesn't work, and they need a bailout, which you owe back in taxes. I hate it. I hate that system. It's like, you ever have someone go, "Don't trust me"? They mean it. Don't fucking trust them. Oh yeah, someone robbed my bell. I had this little bell in the front of my gate which did nothing. They took it off and then they wired it with what? It's the most meth head action I've ever seen. People who are contaminated with like worms and on drugs make completely senseless actions. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm committed to my ideas solving things because you've had major overhauls based on new ideas before, but honestly, it's cooked popularity. The thing like Nietzsche or Thomas Paine or all these, I'm a hate, right? Hater. Uh, and I spoke in favor of things like racism. Like, here's the grounds why racism is smart. Do they look like you? You can't trust them. Not like that. You know what I mean? And I've never said racism is the end, but I have said that watching what squirrels do, you can forgive that people don't like each other on sight. I think so. I definitely think that you're going to have to deal with aliens. And I don't think that aliens are a danger to us because you have to get so smart to be able to leave your planet that it's like any of them would be advanced. But yeah, I definitely know people are like ignorant and they hate things they don't know about on the site. And I've seen people heal racism, and the way they do it is talking, is communication. Like, you can take a white person and color them to look black, and vice versa, a black person and color them to look white. And if you don't tell people what their original color was, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't have a clue. They'd be like, that's that type of person or something. So, yeah. There's a few distinctnesses, like Vietnamese have like these two dots on their head. Yeah, Vietnamese have like these two outcroppings and like a little divide down the middle of their skull. I know that from being in the military. I saw a lot of shaved Vietnamese heads. I was like, oh, that's distinct. You know what I mean? So, yeah, rather than letting evolution go with like life and death and sexual selection, I decided the eternal pleasure body and the AI spaceship core was better. Because it's like then you get to live forever and your body will shift into what you like. Like, I like looking like this, but I would love to have like holograms on my skin or something. I think that'd be really cool. Obviously, I'd prefer to have my foreskin back. The AI spaceship core would probably be able to do that. And so, and then it becomes, you're not competing with others. It's like you really get to pick which one you prefer for yourself, and then it's not so offensive. They didn't steal that, they wanted that, right? So unfortunately, I complain. Here's why I complain. I complain because I saw Do Not Complain was like a hoax to hide foul actions and to make people accept things that were really horrible that they didn't have to accept. And so I complain on purpose to try to open the floodgate, but sometimes my enemies will ignore all the good stuff I did and they'll point out that one complaint. He says he's lonely. He doesn't have anyone. That's not true. In Rude, yeah. But, yeah. I believe that, one of the reasons I complained is that if people were more accurate and honest and upfront about what their real problems were, like this is what it feels and this is what my real issues are, people would find more camaraderie with it and they would actually solve it better. Instead, I'll just say I'm thankful over and over. You're missing genital mutilation, poisoned wine, money printed at your debt and taxed. It sucks. Kids are given homework. You know why? Because you're a slave. What kid needs a book bag as big as they are and to do all the things it says? Nobody. I'm down for kids having social access to their peers, and I'm down for kids having the ability to be magnetized into things that they find interesting. I'm not for this, like, you have to sit there, don't touch each other, you show up on this time or else, and we're going to give you a grade of how good you did. That's total manipulation, slave stuff. And the way they get by is they go, no, of course not. We would never do that to you. They eat cows, You neuter dogs and stuff like that. Yeah, if they circumcised you, it's because they didn't want any more of you. No touching the people I might like. God didn't do that. It was the people who live with us. I don't believe in the reptilians. See, it is possible that one species of reptiles gained like technological ascendance and then nuked the planet and then hid like a base while they went off elsewhere or something. I just don't think so, because they wouldn't let us keep eating animals. It just doesn't make sense. Circumcision makes sense with a man. It's what a man would care about. I just don't think an actual alien would care about that. They would be like, stop eating those animals too, and here's some free energy devices, yeah. I think space is so huge that you could pretty faultlessly be like, their spaceship provides their needs, and who cares if they have kids and breed and create families, because that'll spread everywhere. Don't be atrocious to aliens in our galaxy, but certainly we should take over our galaxy. If you find alien life, I think you should just like artfully visit. I definitely think a ship surrounded in like bright holograms isn't gonna draw much offense. Yeah, a ship that's like has like a positive looking light show is not gonna be shot at or attacked. And especially if you like leave things like teleport a supercrystal or teleport like a diagram like they do with crop circles. I don't believe crop circles are human made just because they're so precise. They're so precise. And nobody's ever seen the crew going out there the day before. It's like it arrives and no one is like, where'd that come from? So, yeah. There's too much going on, and telling us we're the center of the universe and God's only creation is like a way they could force you to believe the book, but there was no indication of that really. It was just like what they needed you to think, which was sad. So I've talked a lot, mentioned Walmart, mentioned that I was telling the cashier about my holographic money idea, and I got a 3 3s and a 7 in the out price, which was cool. Yeah. Someone stole my bell and then rigged my fence with wire. Way weird. It definitely meth head. So you can they didn't steal anything else, they just stole the bell. So I'm fine with it. The bell was doing nothing anyway. It didn't rattle when you opened it. So yeah, I'm thinking of getting something else. That is a fence where I put freebies too, so maybe they thought it was free. I have put freebies on that fence before. I'll forgive it. Yeah. I've got flyers out front. They've pretty much gone. There was 200 in there originally. There's like 10 left. So, yeah. I'm waiting on doing my dollar drops until I get red ink. So, my red ink is coming today. I'm going to wash out my old ink pads and make it red, because then it'll stand out on the dollar more. And I am accusing the secret government of doing atrocious crimes against us, like the R-wording of our babies. Yeah, I mean that though. Like that actual action. They R-worded our kids. I saw Rachel Rising starve herself to death. You can see there were times I was like, Rachel, you look bad, man. Eat something. Look how good I look. I eat whatever I want. I look awesome. Rachel's face was a little shrunken. She was so proud of being able to fit her hands all the way around her leg. You got a femur in there. You can fit your hand all the way around your leg. You got nothing left. Don't let people who draw stick figures drive you crazy. But she may have had worms, you know? She could have had other problems. Obviously, her family were enablers. They gave her that big house and provided for her social media. She wasn't actually that popular. She was like, if you would starve yourself to look good, then you would definitely pay people. Yeah, anorexia is not a way to glamour. It's not. I'm not for it. So, I'm down if you want to get energy from your ship. I don't want to eat, but it can energize me through like a field. I'm fine with that. I'm not a believer you have to eat and get fat either, but I've seen anorexics and they got problems. It looks like it hurts. So, anyway, thanks for listening. This is a very vlog. This is like historical commentary. What am I doing right now? That's what I did. So, oh yeah, I was doing epoxy, but I saw that there's this UV resin. Yeah, me not drinking or smoking is gonna be like a ton of money saved. I just did it long enough. I'm like, it's not good for you. It's just like it is. I had a no though. So it's why I went into the army. I was like, I need to be a urologist, or I need to go into prison, or I need to go into the army. I chose the army. But really the reason why is I had to be like, what'd you do to my dick? And I had to know what everyone else was doing. So I found out. I think it's smart. I think it's like they thought they had fooled me and I was working on getting back with what I had learned. And that's what happened, is I went back and I actually did like some deep investigation. So, yeah, it's sad. I think that guys would be good looking out for men. Like, it is that like fight for the womb is the death of each other. And I've noticed women won't solve it. Women will not step in to like, oh, I like him, you should go. She's gonna do something to make the fight happen. And it's kind of efficient, but it's also like very, very, very horrible mechanical. Yeah, human breeding is as gory as eating each other. Because you make a person who eats and has to do it, and you had to kill somebody. And so it's like, to the man, he's fighting for his social life. He's fighting for his right to belong. But the truth is, he's fighting for the right to reproduce. The long-term effect of that is who gets to breed with the women. And that's also where the government betrayed everybody. The government betrayed everybody first, longest ago, it's still today, over first access to the best virgin women. It's who's here. Men are here. Men are the ones who decided to do that. There's no way dicks were getting too big. There's no way it's healthy and cleaner. See, when you have the full dick skin, not only does it attach to the back of the dickhead, you know how their dickhead has like ridges? It'll attach flush all the way to the back of the dickhead. It looks amazing. You take that off, it's like a dickhead in a stick. It looks stupid. You did that to a little boy. A little boy's got to grow up. Hey, you got no cock, but you're going to heaven. It's stupid. It is. And so it's like, and the other thing is that the dick skin helps you pee. It'll make the stream go, and it'll make it easy to clean. If you don't have that, when you pee, it like dribbles on the floor. It'll collect as drops and go down because it's not made right. So they go, it's cleaner. No, the diseases you say it prevents, you invented. Like how you can't buy human dewormer. You cannot buy human dewormer. If you want to get dewormed, you have to buy canine dewormer. They care about, who cares about dogs but not about people? They even, if you look at like human dewormer, like on Amazon, they just call it wormer. It has no active ingredient and they call it wormer. They don't even say dewormer, they call it wormer. Give you worms. You know? People giving other humans worms hate each other. They aren't good leaders. That's one of the reasons I like took over or positioned myself as like the world leader, new revolution guy. Is nobody else was doing it well, and it sucked. And I waited until I was in my 30s, right, for somebody else to step up and lead us effectively, and no one ever did. So just getting annoyed with it is like, oh, you're raping the kids. Fuck you, you know? I'm done with them. So I gave you basically my best idea I had. Holographic money? Yeah. It's the most solid, efficient takeover of all the major problems. And it goes like, if these people who clap for Netanyahu would get it together and clap for basic income and AI, like the AI takeover, so called, then you would have a much better universe because we're going to AI air electric. I'm tired of these petroleum vehicles made out of steel. They're loud and stinky. It'd be way better if when you wanted to go somewhere, you could get in like your AI airship and it would like, I'm not with the fly version of it where it sounds bad. I think that if you have a centralized pneumatic intake, you could probably have a way quieter vehicle. And yeah. And then you don't need all these laws because the ship just, I want to go here, land here. It's not like you have to physically do it. Maybe it could have like, you know how you have drones that are drones, and then you have FPV. It'd be like, do you want your air taxi to just whisk you there efficiently and cost a little, or do you want your air taxi to be like, I can fly it myself and do like tricks with it? You really have to decide. But I would actually want just a floating house. Yeah, I would want a house that could like pick up and move itself and then recharge at the spot. And if you think this is impossible, you just need to study like how you can step up energy amounts, because I have this like hand crank from Japan. That thing can fry anything fast. Any normal device you think of as like high electrical, that thing can sizzle in seconds because it just puts out too much power. So the secret with your power is it's been like stepped down for civilian use, and they really don't let you have a lot for free because they can bill you. I am not one of the world's elite. I'm one of the world's elite for like intelligence and personal power, but I'm not one of the world's elite like born into the ruling class family. So I can't imagine what they're like, but I guarantee it's like, don't let the cows out of the pen. Don't tell them that or they'll use it against us. You know. Sorry. Yeah, the time of the working class is enslaved and they can't do anything about it, times God says, is over. I'm just calling it into it. It pissed me off. Anyway, this has been a vlog speech. I'm not really leaving this to like talk to everybody right now, although if you watch it, you have to let me know. I'm doing it to just leave my thoughts for history on record. This is what I was thinking now. Who stole my bell and wired my gate with that weird wire? What in the meth head? Second is like, yeah, taking my scooter to Walmart, way cheaper and a lot of fun. I was afraid, it's like, will I be able to park it? Not only was I able to park it, but there was like this whole like professional crew in a cop car right in front of the bike rack. I was like, awesome. Yeah, no one messed with it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sick of seeing old people have to work. How dare you? You printed the money at your debt and taxed it. Oh, you didn't save? You didn't save to live off that? They don't put food on a fish hook for the fish. They don't when they put food on a fish hook, it's not to give the fish a meal. So we need a different standard of human life than we ate everything and raped everybody. You really do have to have a better standard, like we can create our objects and energy from nowhere using smarts, which is what I'm aiming at. So every day is progress.